Hello, and a very warm welcome back to the Gimme Wrestling podcast. My name is Ant, and this is...
I'm very sorry, Enzo. I'm very sorry.
Is this a public apology?
It is. I've had a, as you can see, I've had a breakdown. I've shaved my beard off.
I've
Britney Spears my face, and now I've embraced my appearance as a member of the Gestapo from Hello Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. I would just like to formally apologise.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I know. I'd like to formally apologise to Enzo Amore and my mum.
Rock and roll. First.
I'm Ollie, by the way.
Yeah, that's Ollie. That was an introduction and a half. NXT UK episode 41 is what we're covering today.
Yes.
The last episode in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Finally.
Yes.
It was a short episode, 40 minutes.
Yes.
It felt good.
Yes.
Yeah, they wanted an extra match thrown in for the sake of just having a match thrown in, which was great.
Nope, there was just 2 matches thrown in for the sake of having 2 matches thrown in.
Exactly. 1st of May, Brooklyn, New York is where we're at. 1st of May is when it filmed. The audio quality of commentary, especially at the beginning when they were doing the entrances, was appalling, man.
Couldn't hear him.
Couldn't hear him at all.
Couldn't hear him.
I don't understand how would WWE, with the power that WWE have, like, not get it right?
How?
Indeed. First match, Travis Banks versus Mansoor. Sounds a little bit about like Mantor for me.
Yeah. It's like Mantor's little brother.
It is. At some point I'm probably going to say Mantar.
Mantar.
Rock and roll. Mansoor is in NXT.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Jobbing in NXT, one would assume?
Yes.
Cool. Banks stretches Mansoor's arm and abdominals early on. After a few flips, Mansoor slaps him, and that unleashes Banks to actually do something as opposed to just the sort of twisty arm things.
Yeah.
I think if we get in a match where we know the outcome, like let's skip the sort of feeling each other out bit. Yeah, I feel like it'd be better. I'm
at the point really, and I'm gonna be positive this episode because I've been very negative, and new face, new me. You know, what I will say is, who cares? And this is absolutely the remnants of the footage that they had left over. And the only thing that will make this acceptable is if the next set of episodes that are filmed in Glasgow have really good production values, and if they're not, well, then I'll be writing a very strongly worded letter.
I don't believe you will. I think
it'll be an email.
Yeah, it'll be an email. Lazy.
Yeah.
Can't afford the stamp. They're not even worth the stamp.
Can't afford the paper the stamp would be stuck on.
Yeah, but I think they will be great in Glasgow. So
yeah, I hope so.
No worries about that at all.
The crowd will be great.
Just waiting to get to that. So a beautiful drop kick sends Mansoor flying. Banks takes a fall off the apron, which seemed a little unnecessary in this sort of match.
Bit forced.
Yeah.
Be honest.
A bit. It wasn't needed, man.
No,
not needed at all.
Was not needed.
Mansoor delivers a beautiful suplex in the ring. It was nice.
Yep.
It was good. Nice kick to Moonsault, which leaves him on the Moonsault. Mansoor, probably. Changed it to Moonsault. Which leaves him on the turnbuckle before delivering a drop kick directly onto his head. Followed by a nice kick on the apron. That was nice. There was nothing wrong with this match. It was actually a good match. It was both good. Banks goes for a suicide dive, lands most of his weights on Mansoor's head, and Mansoor delivers a really nice spinning reverse face buster type thing. Banks delivers Slice of Heaven, followed by Kiwi Crusher for the win. Technically, a really neat match.
Very good match. Who cares?
Nobody
cares.
I'm just so fed up of that, you know?
Yeah.
The two had no story, nothing going forward, nothing in the past. Just who can we put Banks with that's across here and easy to put him with now?
Just some NXT guy, and they were like, oh, Banks has got 10 years experience on him. And it showed.
Yes, it did, yeah. Well, I don't know, Mansoor did a good job.
I think he did a good job in the ring, but he was never going to win.
No, absolutely. So
we knew he wasn't going to win.
Who cares?
Who cares?
This
should be the tagline to this episode.
Who cares? NXT episode 41. Who cares?
Apart from the main event.
Main event
Was really good.
So stay with us for that, because we will be positive about that.
Yes.
Ryan Brookside, who delivers a really charming little promo, actually. I liked this. They had like a thought bubble in it at one point, quick edits between it. She went flying off Come fly with Zaya.
They showed her making mistakes in takes, and then went back, and then she redid the bit of the promo, which was
maybe we should do that on the podcast.
odd. Well, that would require us editing and filming things more than once, and who would lead up? If we were doing that, we would have edited out all the stuff about Enzo, and I wouldn't have had to shave my beard off.
We'd probably be in what culture if
wow.
we did that. Yeah.
I'd rather be in Cultaholic, I'll be honest. They just seem like more fun.
Yeah.
Like as people.
Well, they was all we want.
I was about to go in on what culture then.
Really?
I'm not gonna do that again. I'd like to formally apologise to what culture.
So Zaya Brookside promo. I thought it could have been really good if they'd gone a little bit more into it. So the speech bubble thing that popped up.
Yeah.
It was fine. Do more of it. Have some hearts showing up, some rainbows. I know it sounds rubbish, but if you're going to go with that, go all in.
I just don't find her endearing.
Yeah, I thought you liked Zaya Brookside.
No, I do. But I want to see her do, like... I want to see her move away from that whole, like... Oh, I'm a friendly person. I'm just going to do better. Whee! I want to move away from that to become, like, plucky underdog, like, I'm Daniel Bryan and I'm going to keep fighting until you give me a shot.
I think for me it's more like Bayley, but even younger than Bayley, and that's fine. And I think that'd work if there was to go with it properly. It's too small to have the plucky underdog, I think.
But Daniel Bryan's tiny.
Yeah, but he's muscular as well.
I'm saying
she can get to that point in like 3 or 4 years, I think. But at the minute, I don't mind that. But if they're going with it, they need to invest in it.
The way I look at it, right, is I think every gimmick, every like thing you do with a wrestler, you have to be able to justify, like, could this person with this gimmick be champion? Otherwise, what's the point in doing it? Like, what's the point in from her mindset, if she's going like, I want to be the champion, being like, well, I'm just a friendly person. Like, is that enough? Is that enough to get her where she wants to go? Because if it's not, it doesn't make any sense.
Bailey.
Well, sort of. Like, what's she doing now? Jobbing out to everybody.
You could say that about anyone. I mean, Bobby Roode, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, what was I saying? Bailey had a great championship run in NXT. A great championship
she
run.
did.
Like, really powerful.
She did. But she was also, like, having a really good feud with Sasha Banks where there was, like, actual, like, bad blood, and it wasn't all just like, I'm a nice person.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but
I don't know. It feels
I just think
it feels a bit.
I think it's different, and I think it's okay to go with it, but go with it.
Yeah,
you don't. It's cool, interesting.
I just don't find her endearing.
Down below, I always thought you did like her.
No, I like her potential.
Yeah,
I don't like this. Like, it's too much like Candy Floss. This like, I'm a person, I'm so happy.
Has nothing. That's what I mean. Candy Floss isn't that. Candy Floss is just nothing. Candy Floss is just so. If they're going to give us the time to do it, let us know what you think down below. It'd be great to hear what you think. I love it when we disagree.
Yeah, to me, it's just vacuous. It's just empty. It's like, it's just. I don't believe it. Like, can you imagine in an MMA fight if the competition, like the two competitors came out and one of them went like, I'm gonna beat you up, and the other one, I want to be friends. You go, no, like that's not how that works.
Yeah,
like these people are meant, like, within kayfabe, they're meant to be fighters.
Yeah, but then
do you know what I mean?
In MMA, someone came out with a fat dude in an urn, and we were going, oh yes, like you'd be like. Oh, yeah.
I know.
Conor gone crazy.
but the point is that Undertaker still in that situation looks like he could tear your head off. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't like these gimmicks where it's like, you know, oh, I'm gonna come out and be your best mate.
Like
it's
happy
like
people.
No, I don't like happy people.
Or people having happiness.
No, like, oh, I don't know, but I don't mind something like like the Bo Leave thing when he was really pushing the Bo Leave character, Dallas, when he's like, I'm great, but then but like the undercurrent of that was like, but he's gonna cheat to win, but then like be like, oh, you could do it too if you just tried. Maybe but his trying is like cheating. Why 4 years specifically?
I just think she needs 4 years.
4 years to be happy for 4 years.
Yeah, and then she'll be the person. Everyone else will have gone on the different ways, and she'll have been.
She'll be the only one left.
Yeah,
she'll get it by proxy of being the only person still there. And even then, she'll have.
Because WWE's out of business. AEW are out of business.
Right.
Everyone's gone to AEW. And
she's just sat in a dilapidated performance center, and like he's clutching the UK title, she's clutching the women's title. And they're going, "We're still relevant. We're still relevant."
Great gimmick. Next, Dragunov is coming soon. Showed some of his stuff from Progress and stuff like that. It looked cool. Don't know about him. Let us know if you know about him. It'd be cool to hear. The Nina Samuels show promo next. The Nina Samuels show is ready with her talking into a stage mirror, holding a rose. She says the interval is
fake
over.
Rose.
Was it a fake rose?
It was a fake rose.
Oh, I didn't know.
Because when she pulled the bit off and dropped it on the table, it looked like felt. I was like, oh.
Okay, I didn't know it's a fake rose. You got upset by that fake rose.
I got upset by that whole promo.
Really? I didn't mind it. Again, she's now ready for the lead role and the championship. Toni Storm is no leading lady, and the Nino Samuels show is about to begin.
Trying to be positive. I'm trying so hard. I hated it so much.
Really?
Oh god, it's the worst. Do you know what? I think maybe just.
I didn't like the fact that she said she's been on a winning streak because she hasn't.
She has lately, hasn't she?
No,
I don't think she's lost a match in ages.
I
don't remember her losing a match.
Not, then. Okay.
We haven't seen her for weeks,
no.
But before that, she hasn't been beaten for ages.
Okay.
So I just don't get it. I don't like. I think I'm done a little bit with gimmicky, like overly gimmicked wrestling.
Okay.
I think I'm sort of at a point now where I'm like.
So Bray Wyatt's a no-no.
It is because I don't see how that's going to translate to in-ring.
I get what you're saying.
I think it's really weird and interesting and entertaining, but I'm just like, but more out of bemusement than like I actually think this is a good idea.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that Bray Wyatt, like if you said to me like a year ago, so what we're gonna do with Bray Wyatt in a year's time is have him host a kids TV show that he has a chainsaw in.
Yeah,
I'd have been like, what? Yeah, you did call it, weirdly enough. Do you know what I mean? I'm just starting to get a bit like, it's like, you know,
I don't mind the gimmick.
I don't mind gimmicks. It's just when it's like when it gets to a point where you've got a promo of somebody. It's like the Joseph Connors thing, right?
Yeah.
Where he was like staring, like talking to no one.
Yeah.
Like it just. Why would she be sat in front of a mirror delivering a promo as if it was to someone, but it's clearly meant to look like she's talking to herself, but she's not talking to herself? Like, if she was going, you're going to do this, you're going to be great, like, that would be fine. But she's going, like, Nina Samuels is, she's an actress. And
trying to put on the best. Yeah.
I just don't get it. I don't get, who's that for?
It's just to tell the audience who she is.
But we know who she is.
But then you could say that about any promo, like Gallus walking along the...
No, but
like, what's the difference between that?
Because
that was really well done.
Because they were addressing the audience in that. They were talking to the camera.
Addressing the audience by addressing the mirror in a stylistic way to...
No, she's addressing herself if she's staring in the mirror.
She's talking to herself.
Yeah, she's talking to herself.
That's a new gimmick.
Maybe.
I
think
you want to... I think you should have the Doctor's gimmick that we talked about early on in these episodes.
The Doctor's gimmick?
Yeah, man. We said she should come in an ambulance and it should go, Nina.
Right.
We used to laugh about that.
How times have changed.
When you was fun, when I
had a soul and I hadn't watched 40 episodes of NXT UK.
I thought it was fine.
I just don't like
Toni
it.
Storm going against her, I think it's a good idea, and I think that she's going to end up helping Ginny win the title. That's my prediction.
Do you think Ginny will help her win the title?
No, I don't think Nina Samuels should have the title.
I don't think she should, but I think she might.
Interesting.
I think they like Nina Samuels, and it's very confusing. I don't know what it is, but I'm
some happiness in your life.
I know, I do. I think
your beard off,
we've
it should
had
be easier to smile.
I'm smiling loads.
That's the Nina Samuels smile, dude. But we talk to a mirror. We look at ourselves and address ourselves in the mirror.
but the point is that we operate under the illusion that the fourth wall, that actually we're talking, like, obviously what we're looking
on the
at.
other side of the wall for that no one watches these videos.
Yeah, but can you imagine if we were doing this podcast talking to a mirror that was in shot?
That'd be great.
That would be so weird. It would be like they were like perversely watching our breakdown. Do you know what I mean? Well, I think they are at this point watching me break down.
Yeah, you.
But do you know what I mean though? Like it'd be like right. So we've got the monitor set up over there, so we can tell what's going on, and we've got like the program and stuff. It'd be like if we were filming that monitor as well as us talking to it. Just do this. Do this. Like she could have been in a theatrical setting, like in the stalls of a theatre or on the stage at a microphone or something, going, "I'm Nina Samuels. I'm ready for my next big performance, whatever." And that would have been really amazing. But she just sat in a dressing room staring at a mirror, talking to herself. But that's women are take that as they're talking to us. Oh, I don't know.
Putting an end to it. Good. Piper Niven versus say the name.
Reina Gonzalez.
Thank you. Reina's from NXT. Yay.
Another
match. Comes out with cowbell on a rope.
Needs more cowbell.
She was wearing jodhpurs though. I find jodhpurs very sexy.
Jodhpurs?
Yeah, jodhpurs.
The hell are jodhpurs?
They're horse riding gear.
Right.
And that's what I think they are, but they had the buttocks cut out.
I just thought they were assless chaps.
Oh, maybe they are chaps. It reminded me of jodhpurs though. I quite liked it, whatever it was. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, whatever floats your boat, I guess.
maybe it was a cowbell.
Maybe.
Pulling around in this match, Reina often catching Piper on.
Do you really like milk?
Do I? Moo. Why? Why are you asking that?
Yeah, you like cowbells? I thought maybe you had like a dairy thing.
Maybe.
And just like bovine.
Bovine. Lots of but like horses don't produce milk. Jodhpurs are normally horses. You're right, they probably are chaps.
But it was more the cowbell I was thinking of.
Oh, okay. We'll move on. Lots of pulling around. Reina was often catching Piper on the way past. Niven got owned a lot at the start of the match. I thought it made her look
owned.
You got owned?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pooned. She got pooned.
Right, another thing, commentary. You can't call her Niven and then Nevin. And one of them was saying Niven.
The other one was saying Nevin.
Nevin.
Yeah.
I hate that, man. Just let's have a name and we've got a name.
Yeah.
I mean, we get it wrong. I get it wrong, but like, I'm not getting paid.
Ratsky.
Ratsiki. Niven is selling her back a lot in this match. Reina. Thanks. Gets pushed. I'm not getting paid. Gets pushed off the apron and lands with a massive thud on the outside. Niven hits crossbody, followed by a senton, and there's a Michinoku driver for the win.
Yep.
Who cares?
Nobody.
Nobody.
No stakes. So boring.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Bad for Niven, especially coming into NXT UK. Do you know what would have been better? Go on. Right. So this Reina.
Yeah. Reina.
Put her with Kaylee Ray 2 weeks ago. Put Zaya Lee.
Yeah.
With Niven.
Yeah.
I think you would have had a much better quality of match out of both of them. You would have had Kaylee Ray beating the slightly larger girl, and you would have had Niven working with someone that could work really well who was smaller, and I think Niven works better in that situation. Okay.
Agreed. Also, still wouldn't care.
Okay.
Because it's still just throwaway NXT UK versus NXT roster, which means nothing.
Zaya Lee, she's like a vigilante. Have you never heard of her?
Jesus.
Yeah, and then after Banks, it's the same thing. It's a case of who cares.
Yeah. You know what though? Yeah. Was one moment in it where I was like, I like what they did there.
When it ended. Go on.
Thought I was the negative one. No, when they were gonna do that, like, oh, I can bounce off the ropes and then clothesline you better than you can.
Yeah.
And then like Niven went to do it and Reina just grabbed her hair and threw her on the mat, and I was like, finally, someone knows how to fight.
Tricky.
Someone is looking to win.
Cool.
Yeah.
Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan. How can the veterans run the locker room when they don't know anything about anyone? They're going to ask Johnny Saint for a title shot. This was rubbish.
It was really bad, wasn't it?
Like, these guys had so much great chemistry in that exclusive. They had joking, they had fun, and there was like, we need to completely ditch all that to say the most generic promo about going into a match and we're going to ask Johnny Saint for it, who organises it later on. Like, there was none of that charm, man.
There was a weird thing that Jordan did, right? And I've noticed this happen before with people in promos. And it's where they like start off as if they're gonna, like, they say one thing and then they say a second thing, and it's like they're setting up for their punchline, like they're gonna say something like really important at the end. And then he never said anything. Yeah. It was like he went, you know, yeah, and you know, the first week, you know, they said, oh well, there's nobody that are like, you know, on the same level as us, and then on the second week, you know, they ran away from the ring and they got counted out, which, you know, shows that they're on the same level as us, and. And that was it. And I was like, is there an end to that? Are you going to draw a conclusion there? It just felt so weird.
And it's sad. I mean, the guys, even if they'd done some dancing, like, I would have been happier than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just wrote one thing with that whole thing. Awkward.
Awkward. It felt awkward.
It was super awkward.
Gallus travelled all over the world and now back in ugly Glasgow. But they like ugly. When NXT UK Glasgow happens, everyone will know that Gallus is Glasgow. Oh, Glasgow is Gallus. Love that.
Yeah, it was cool.
Great.
It was a good promo again, and they had like some nice establishing shots. They had some good camera work.
I don't know if you can call it establishing if it happens all the way through.
Yeah, I guess so. But they did some like close-ups as well. But this is what I mean. Like, this promo was really effective because it was Gallus talking to a camera about how great they are, or whatever it was.
It was his kingdom.
It was his kingdom.
My kingdom.
And there was no pretense of like, oh, like we're, I don't know, in front of a mirror talking to ourselves. Like, everything they said made sense within the context of what was going on screen.
I'll tell you one thing that I found interesting: the fact that they're referring very much to the place they're going to, and it makes sense because it's Glasgow,
hometown.
Scotland. It's not just hometown, but the fact that it's Scotland as opposed to England is a big difference.
Well, I think they're preparing us for the fact that the crowd's going to respond differently, aren't they?
Yeah. And it's great, and I can't wait for that. I can't
wait to see the commentary going like, "Well, we're here in Glasgow, and they're gonna love Gallus."
It's one of them where you're going to get great chants and stuff like that. And anyway, Jordan Devlin, versus Walter.
Devlin looked like a banana. Didn't know they grew bananas in Ireland.
Is this a? Why did he look like a banana?
Because he's a terrible fake tan. He had the worst fake tan. It was awful. He must have done it for WrestleMania weekend or something. It was a special.
Sunbathing, and then he went in New York.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
I mean, it might be nice weather in New York, but I don't think it would be like get tan in 3 days levels of sunshine. I don't know.
Maybe he's been on holiday.
He looked hilarious.
Yeah, he did look
like so good, like a banana. And like, because Walter's kind of pasty looking, it made him look even more like a banana.
Yeah. Maybe it's to distinguish him a little bit more.
Do you know what? If Walter had just picked him up in one hand, it would have looked like Walter eating a banana.
Right, gosh. Walter come out, he's bruised, man, after his Pete Dunne match.
Yeah.
We were both surprised to see him have the title. We thought these were filmed prior to TakeOver.
I think they must have just been filmed all weekend. I think the Access thing was going all weekend, so...
Probably. But then it could have been that they filmed it on Saturday, where the Hall of Fame was on. I'm not entirely sure. Devlin whips around Walter, doing little kicks, then retreating. But when Walter does it, when Walter gets his hands on him, he just swats him away. It's great. Mini Balor chant. The audience chanted something.
They did. I mean, we got a few chants in this match.
Yeah.
The crowd sort of came alive at some points. I mean, at other points they went back to sleep. But it was like, you know, like when people are like dozing and they go like, "Oh, don't get away from my bananas." And they go back to sleep again.
Get away from my bananas. Is that what you say in your sleep?
No, I say, please, not again.
It's obvious, but it's really obvious. When Devlin goes for the chops early on, Walter just bats him off, and that's fine. We get that.
Yeah.
The person fighting Walter would go for the chop, and then Walter would deliver the big chop later on. He didn't early on in the match, and I love that.
And he kept ducking them. He kept avoiding Devlin kept avoiding the chops, and that was very cool.
Yeah, because although it's a great moment, they saved it for a wonderful point in this match where I'd forgot that I was waiting for a chop.
Yeah,
and that's clever.
Yeah.
So he, instead of that, he gets right in his face and got really intimidating because he's so tall. He looks intimidating.
Following him around like that thing from Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
There's a big thing that follows you around in Resident Evil 2.
Okay. Not Nemesis.
No. Well, I mean, if we're going to be really precise, the remake, it's just there all the time, I'm pretty sure. Right. But in the, I don't know, I haven't played it, but someone posted a thing on Instagram and I saw it and I was like, oh, cool, it's there. But also Nemesis does it, but he's more annoying. He's in 3. Yeah. But in the original of 2, once you play the B scenario, then you have this like giant dude who's like the precursor to Nemesis, and he shows up and follows you around. It was like where they got the Nemesis idea from.
Cool. Groovy.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever played it. It was a great game. Probably one of the best games of all time.
Resident Evils, and I thought it was massively overrated when it was released.
Ah, well, you're wrong, but
I didn't like the camera angles in such positions. I know that it moved away from that for before, but I couldn't get into that. So.
Do you know why they did that?
Go on.
This is so off topic, but it's so that because the PlayStation had such limited kind of rendering power, it meant that they could put all the focus on the animation of the objects on screen rather than the backgrounds. So they pre-render the backgrounds. Was
it Primeval or something was out then?
Medieval.
Primeval. It was like a game that had the similar sort of camera angles, but it was like a Jurassic Park ripoff.
Oh, Dino Crisis.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Dino Crisis. That was a shooting one. Oh, it might have been Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis is like Resident Evil, but with dinosaurs.
Yeah, anyway, rock and roll.
Anyway, that's so off topic in the middle of a Walter match. I'm really sorry.
We'll edit it.
We won't.
We won't. But Devlin hits his way out. That was really cool. So he gets on the sleeper, and Devlin's like beating him off him, which is just a really nice way to escape.
Yeah.
Unique, clever in-ring psychology.
Yeah.
A big boot knocks massive Balor's head off. Devlin sold
massive Balor's massive head.
Yeah. Devlin, he was so good in this match. He sold so well for Walter.
Yeah.
Really making it look like Walter was in control of his exhausted body, even though he wasn't exhausted. It was so good. I was really impressed with Devlin again.
Yeah.
Every match I see of Devlin, I just want to know more about him.
He was bumping all over the place.
Yeah. Double underhook, suplex from Walter.
Just threw him like he was a... Like he'd scrumpled up a piece of paper and lobbed it. Do you know what I mean? Like that was the level of effort that it seemed to take. It's the distance,
isn't it, that you get between the sort of person and the person who's throwing it. It's great. It's really nice stuff. Walter throws Devlin in, and I think so. He throws him into the ring, and he sort of gets caught up on the ring ropes. He improvised that.
Yeah. Fairly
certain he improvised because Walter didn't know what to do with him.
Yeah.
So he sort of instead because he had got caught in the ropes, he got twisted into the ropes and then come off, and then Walter sort of.
And they made a thing of his leg getting trapped between two ropes in a cross, and it looked really painful and
really good. Really neat and really well done by him, like to come up with that.
And that's how. Well, it's not exactly the same situation, but it's quite. It was stuck between two ropes that Mankind got his ear ripped off, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And it's a spot that happens a lot. That was because the ropes were too tight, but I don't think that spot was planned at that point.
No, it wasn't. No.
Which is really nice, and it's nice to see someone improvising around something interesting and turning it interesting.
Yeah.
Devlin with some nice kicks. The nice thing about this match that I really enjoyed was Devlin's kicks sounded like Walter's chops. And that was a really clever dynamic that I really want to see more of.
I think Walter knows because he's chopping people hard as anything that he's kind of got to, he's got to accept it and just be like, well, I'm just going to get kicked really hard in the legs.
That really works as a story. Like, it's really impressive. Walter's bleeding from the mouth. I didn't see when it happened, but when he's on the floor, he's got lots of blood, man, and it's quite bad.
Yeah.
I think that is going to look awesome when these two guys meet again in sort of 3 months' time, and that's part of the video promo. So Devlin was this close, and you have this exhausted-looking Walter. Yeah, great. Yeah, wonderful.
I liked it.
Can't wait. I so want these two to go again. Devlin misses a drop kick, and Walter just. I mean, was it a teabag? They said his knee went. He just sort of like fell on his head.
Yeah, he sort of just jumped. Like he jumped and like sat on Devlin's head, and it was very strange.
It was a bit uncomfortable. I was
like, ow, that looked.
There was a couple of botchy bits in this match.
Yeah, there was a few. squiggly moments.
Yeah. Devlin misses. So then the chop happens. And
Oh
it's
my
a
god.
chop from out of nowhere. It's probably the best chop we've seen on NXT UK so
sound
far.
of a cannon.
And it's beautiful. And the best thing about it is I didn't see it coming. That the whole thing is normally he does it quite early on, and and then it's all the way through the match, and that's fine. This I didn't see it. I forgot about it.
Yeah, I mean, I knew he was going to hit it at some point, but I wasn't sure when it was going to come, and it was nice that it came when it did. It kind of like gave a
in the match.
Yeah, quite a good kind of structure to the match.
He's dropping the microphone. Then a backdrop sends Devlin flying. Also a released German.
Just flew across the ring. At that point, I wrote Devlin showing why he's the MVP of NXT UK. I think he is.
You're big on Devlin, aren't you?
I am. I have been since day one. I think I'm pretty confident. I was high on him early on.
I'd love to go back and watch one of our old videos.
Yeah.
And see exactly what we thought of his early match.
And I'll be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and
you can do that by subscribing to the channel.
Oh, what a smooth transition.
Walter goes for the powerbomb, but Devlin flips over him and sort of flips him back. It looked amazing.
It was like a sunset flip, wasn't it, or something down his back, and it was so quick. I think that's what made it like really sold it.
Did great to jump up because
his feet probably kicked out from under him. It was crazy.
Wow, great.
Very good.
Walter goes for the powerbomb, but Devlin flips over him and nearly gets the pin. Oh, I've said that. Walter holds Devlin's arm and delivers a chop, but Devlin gets up and he's again delivering his own kicks. It's that thing that we saw with Pete Dunne and Walter when they had their match, and it was the elbows versus the chop. This was the kicks versus the chop. And I really want to see this explored even more.
Yeah.
Walter goes up the ring post, what we've seen before. Devlin then goes to deliver the high angle backdrop as he's coming off the turnbuckle. Walter sort of botched it a little bit, didn't go with it.
It didn't land quite right. I think like he just there was no way. I just don't think that was ever going to work.
No,
a man of that size and velocity coming off the top turnbuckle for someone as small as Devlin to like catch him and hit that. Particularly Walter, who's not used to taking bumps like that. I don't think it's just a weird one to try, and it didn't work because Walter just sort of like landed on the floor and then sort of rolled over.
And then it was Devlin takes control in the ring, picks him back up,
tries to hit another one, but like
I thought it worked.
Walter like doesn't quite go for it again.
And
then like he's like
moving on to the next one.
And he's like no, we are hitting this move. And then he eventually hits it, and by that point I was like
Walter gets a clothesline followed by a powerbomb for the pin as his head comes.
The headstand pin is hilarious.
You like that, didn't you?
Yeah, he Walter like takes his feet off the ground, and after the powerbomb he like hops on top of Devlin and like his legs are in the air and his head's on the floor and his hands are on the floor, so he's just putting all of his weight in. I mean, it looks like an effective pin because it looks like all his body weight is holding Devlin down, but I don't know, it was just funny to see a dude as big as Walter doing like a little weird hovering headstand pin. It was very strange.
I love this match.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I thought it was really, really good.
I think it was always going to be good, though. They've got the history of Scrapomania and WrestleRama or whatever it's called that they did at OTT that we talked about last time. They're both incredible. Devlin, I think, is probably the best technical wrestler in NXT UK.
He's sharp, man.
I can't think of anyone who I think could consistently be as clean.
Gibson or Dunn.
Gibson's really good. Dunn's really good.
You're putting people into that category of serious, great wrestlers.
Tyler Bate, I guess. Tyler Bate versus Devlin would be an amazing match.
We'll see it soon, I'm sure. Was that match any good?
Yeah, the match was really good.
Great. Good. One of the best matches we've seen on NXT UK for a long time.
Yeah.
Then definitely. At the end of the match, Pete Dunne comes out.
Yeah.
What was he wearing?
Like a long white t-shirt sort of thing.
Grey t-shirt, but more important than that.
Socks.
Wearing socks.
Was he?
He was wearing socks.
I wasn't looking at his feet.
You didn't look at his feet. What?
No, I was looking at his physique.
Yeah, it was
very strange. I was like, he either looks like really muscly or like kind of podgy, and I was like, what's going on here? I mean, like, I know I've got like no room to talk, but
that's not true. You look fine.
Thanks, man.
Everyone tell Ollie he looks fine. Give him some confidence.
I'm really not sold on this whole no beard thing.
Too late now, brother.
I know.
Gimme goes out, gets the microphone. Give me my rematch.
Yeah.
And Walter,
give me my rematch.
Walter didn't do the whole squaring up strong thing, which I really like. He got yeah, no problem. I've just been through a war, and I like that. I like that because a lot of other people would have gone, I'm this person now, and it wouldn't work. It was, and
he was just like, yeah, okay, just go. I want to go home.
That's what I like about Walter. He's so dominant, yet he has these brilliant moments of vulnerability, which I think make him really believable. Guest stars for this episode? I'm going to give it 2 3/4. I think they did a good job of keeping it shorter, getting rid of the extra match, and that last match was that good, it can have 2 3/4.
I'm going to give it 1 3/4 based on purely the last match. And as far as I'm concerned, pretty much everything else apart from the Gallus promo was garbage.
Cool. Best match?
The last one. The only match, really.
Best performer?
Devlin, yeah.
Devlin sold so well.
Walter was great, but Devlin was just phenomenal.
Holy chip moment?
I think that back body drop, that massive one where he threw him about 600 feet in the air.
Oh, really? No, man, was really the get out of the powerbomb.
Oh, that was good as well,
I
yeah.
didn't see it. I thought that was the end of the match, and then carried on.
Yeah, brother. It was a really good match. I'd love to see what they could do with like 25 minutes and a title.
Yeah, man. That takeover.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
That'd be good.
Be good. Thank you so much. Oh, you know what? Give him a tag team title and put him against Gibson straight. That's great.
With who?
Who would you put?
Finn Balor.
We had different ideas. This is why we do Who Booked It Better.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Bella,
speaking of Who Booked It Better, we've just released another episode of Who Booked It Better, which we looked at Vader's introduction to the WWF.
It's time.
It's Vader time. Where we look at we have 3 minutes each, and we both look at how it could have been booked better. We've also done the return of Bray Wyatt, which is really interesting at the moment.
Like support that it really helps us out. But if you could like write a comment as well and like let us know who you thought was better,
that would be super good as well.
Because we could actually have a winner.
Ant and Dom are doing their wrestling rewind show still. Like, how many pay-per-views have you guys done now? 56 pay-per-views.
Man, we're catching up.
That's really good, man.
Really good. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and Redbubble. If you want to spot us on any of them, you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. There's the mugs, there's the ring bell, there's the ding ding ding. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
You know, I've been like skipping that recently because if I was watching this, I'd be so bored of it.
Yeah, I mean, we're at the end of the episode now, and they know we're done, so like probably they'll all have switched off by now already. And if they are still here, here's a nice little they might. Here's a nice little Easter egg for you if you've stayed to the end of the video. The next Who Booked It Better we're gonna do is about Dean Ambrose.
Oh,
topical.
Or is it John Mox?
Oh, is he in WWE or is he in AEW? Oh, definitely AEW.
What are we doing? The return of him?
His return when he came back and tagged with Seth Rollins just before Roman Reigns went away on because of leukemia.
It'd be great if you want us to do a Who Booked It Better on. Sorry, I just didn't have a comment.
No. Nothing to say about that.
If you guys want us to do a Who Booked It Better on NXT, go and comment on one of them videos and give a suggestion, and we will battle it out. You know.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
You're out.
See you later.
Keep it.
GAHY.